Today's chess trap comes from one of the most popular openings in chess, the Ruy Lopez. At first, everything looks completely normal, but one small mistake can lead to a stunning checkmate. The game begins with pawn to e4, pawn to e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to b5. This is the famous Ruy Lopez opening. White's main idea is simple. The bishop attacks the knight on c6. If that knight is exchanged, White hopes to win the pawn on e5 and gain control of the center. Black responds with knight to f6, entering the Berlin defense. Now most White players simply castle kingside. At first glance, it looks strange because the pawn on e4 is under attack. But the idea is that if Black captures the pawn, White can play rook to e1, attack the knight, and eventually recover the pawn. Instead of taking the pawn, Black plays the surprising move knight to g4. Most White players immediately chase the knight away with pawn to h3, but Black has no intention of retreating. Instead, Black plays pawn to h5, quietly setting a deadly trap. If White greedily captures the knight, Black responds by capturing the pawn on e4. This move attacks White's remaining knight, and more importantly, opens the rook's file toward the White king. If White moves the knight to either e1 or h2, Black launches the attack with queen to h4. Suddenly, Black is threatening checkmate on h2 or h1. White's natural reaction is to play pawn to f3 or pawn to f4, hoping to create an escape square for the king. But Black has the brilliant move pawn to g3. Now every escape square disappears. White can only delay the inevitable by sacrificing the queen. After Black captures the queen, there is no defense left. On the very next move, queen to h1 delivers checkmate. But that's not the only trap. Let's go back a few moves. Instead of chasing the knight, many players choose rook to e1, protecting the pawn on e4. Now Black develops the bishop to c5, creating powerful pressure on the weak f2 square with both the bishop and the knight. White often blocks the diagonal with a pawn, believing everything is safe. Now Black strikes with knight, takes pawn. White captures the knight with the knight. At first, it may seem natural for Black to recapture with the bishop, but that would simply lose a piece. Instead, Black finds the brilliant move queen to h4. The queen and knight now create dangerous threats against both f2 and h2, while White's knight is also under attack. Many White players try to save the knight by playing knight to f3, while also defending the h2 square. Black immediately plays queen takes f2, check. White has only one legal move, king to h1. Now comes the spectacular finish. Black sacrifices the queen with queen to g1, check. It doesn't matter whether White captures the queen with the rook or the knight. Black finishes the game with knight to f2. It's a beautiful smothered checkmate, one of the most satisfying tactical finishes you can play in the Ruy Lopez. If you enjoyed this trap and want more deadly chess tricks, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next winning idea.